Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and if you own a small business, finding the right people faster is very important to make sure that that small business grows like what we got here at Chat Sports. If you want to get started, post your job for free, go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily. I'm going to say it again in case you were picking your you-know-what, linkedin.com/NFL Daily. So what's coming up here on today's show is I always try to talk about news and rumors, right? Like, that's what the Raiders Reports here is about. It's about giving the nation a voice, and my voice is going to be heard. Today, you're going to hear my reaction to Stephen A. Smith roasting Derek Carr on First Take, and then Big Cat from Barstool called the Raiders his pinky team. I'll tell you what that means here in a little bit. And then at the very, very end of today's show, we'll talk about the two players that the Raiders worked out. And if any other Raiders news happens while I'm live, we'll also hit that at the end of the show. So let's talk about Stephen A. Smith here. On First Take, he was asked, which team is the most disappointing in the NFL? Stephen A. said the Las Vegas Raiders. Guess what? I don't really ever agree with Stephen A. Personally, I think a lot of the takes he has around the NFL are dog shit. But this is a good one. This is a good one. For Just Win Babies, believe it, baby. Smith called out the Raiders for their 0-2 start. He ripped apart Derek Carr for not taking that next step. And I agree with him. 100% agree with every single thing Stephen A. Smith said. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But that's the God-honest truth. So what I did here for y'all today is I went back, I got every single quote for those of you that have not seen what Stephen A. said, and we're going to go through it, and I will break it down quote by quote. Here we go, Stephen A. on Derek Carr. Derek Carr is completing 61% of his passes. He's got 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the first 2 games. That ain't nothing to write home about. You got Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes in the conference. Do you want to be pedestrian? Do you want to be average? Do you want to be somebody like a game manager or whatever? Or do you want to step the hell up and understand who the hell is in your division? And you have to answer that call. You are the face of the franchise, which guess what, Stephen A.? I agree with you. When you look at this division from top to bottom, it is unbelievably competitive. Derek Carr is the face of the franchise. Derek Carr is in a lot of ways, when I think of the Raiders, and I know a lot of people do, he's the household name. My mom knows who Derek Carr is. So here's my question. Do you agree with Stephen A. Smith by saying that DC needs to step up? Type A for agree, or you could type D for disagree. I'm going to disagree with your disagree. Every single person that believes silver and black, every single person that has a pulse should say, yes, they agree with Stephen A. Smith. Now, Derek, he's been pedestrian for a long time. That's going to hurt some people's feelings. Derek Carr has been pedestrian for a long time. Sometimes when you hear the truth, it hurts. It stings a little bit. But you know what men do? Professional athletes, the greats, they take that information, they don't take it personal, which is what Derek Carr said after his interview, and then you move on. You look to see how you can get better. Not only do you try to elevate yourself, but you try to elevate every single one of your teammates around you. And that's what I'm hoping Derek Carr does. That's what I'm hoping this entire team and organization does going forward. All right, let's keep on rolling here with some of these Stephen A. quotes in regards to Derek Carr on ESPN First Take. You give all the right quotes. You say all the right things. All right. You represent the franchise off the field in a pristine fashion. We appreciate that. But when you're going to step the hell up and remind everyone that you can ball too and lead this team to another level, well, like I said before, DC's been pedestrian for a while. And when I was doing my live show, somebody said, oh, well, Derek carried us to the playoffs last year. I mean, are these carrying you? I don't think so. In his last 8 regular season games, 242.1 passing yards per game, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 7 fumbles, 3 lost. So essentially, 10 touchdowns, 11 turnovers. Could have been a lot worse, but your offensive line fell on the ball. Okay, that's the last 8 regular season games. What about Carr the past 5 seasons? Yards are great. But at the end of the day, man, I want touchdowns. DC's most touchdowns he's put up in the last 5 seasons is 27. Has he had 6 different head coaches and OCs? Yes, it's extremely difficult to deal with. Has he dealt with a lot of off-the-field drama with losing your star receiver in Henry Ruggs, having Darren Waller injuries, having all these different wide receivers and tight ends mix and match? Yes. But these numbers right here are nothing to write home about, and he has been a game manager. That's what he's been from a QBR by season standpoint. In 2021, 13th among quarterbacks. 2020, 11th. 2019, 10th. 2018, 28th. 2017, 21. I get that all Raider fans want to see the old Derek Carr that you saw in 2015, 2016. But Albert Einstein has said it the best, right? If you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity. We have to just understand that Derek's a good quarterback. He's not elite. He's not going to be top 10. And in this division, is that really something that you're just going to put your hat on and say, that's okay, we don't have an elite quarterback, and to try to compete in this division, in this conference? That's not going to be easy. Now, sometimes when you hire somebody, you don't always find the right pick. I'm hoping that Derek Carr, Josh McDaniels are the right fits here with the Raiders. But for you guys who are running your small businesses, you can post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs, okay? LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. That's LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Now, we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here with some of these takes. When you pay Derek Carr the amount of money you paid him, let's face it, you paid him to be an elite quarterback. When you were made, I get it, it's back in 2017, when you were made the highest paid player in the National Football League, you are expected to carry your team, doesn't matter who's on your team. When you are the number 1 highest paid player in your sport, I don't care who's on offense, I don't care who's on defense, your job, your expectation is to carry the team no matter what and win not only regular season games, playoff games. Derek Carr failed to do that. Here's the other thing, this offseason, Derek, at the time when he was paid, I still love the deal. I think it's a very good deal for the Raiders and Derek Carr. However, new money, and looking at that new money, he was paid to be a top 5 quarterback at the time. Derek has failed to do that as well. You have to realize that. He has failed to live up to both of the contracts thus far. First one, definite fail. Second one so far has been a fail. So, 2 far, 2 strikes, 3 strikes and you're out. Let's keep on going here with Stephen A. Smith. Josh Jacobs ain't no scrub. Davante Adams is a stud, arguably the best wide receiver in football. Waller is a bad brother, a top 3 tight end in football in a lot of people's eyes. Hunter Renfrow ain't no joke. You got weapons. What the hell you doing? Handle your business. Again, this is what Stephen A. Smith had to say on ESPN First Take around Derek Carr. Now, I understand you've been sacked 6 times. I understand you are being pressured and all of that. A lot of times people like to point the finger at everything else, and, that's totally fine. When I see Stephen A. talk about the position groups, I can sit up here confidently and say that I believe, and I think a lot of Raider fans would agree with me, you can make a legitimate argument that the Raiders have the best 2 wide receiver, tight end, running back combo in the league. Yeah, you could pick other teams, no doubt about it, but Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. Having 4 players like that on your offense, not many teams have that kind of stuff. So you're right. The excuses sooner or later, they have to stop. DC has to perform, and if he doesn't perform, then you need a change of scenery. When you talk about the offensive line I actually thought played much better in the first game than it did the second. That's going to surprise a few people, right? Carr on average has had 2.57 seconds to throw. That's 26th in the National Football League. But you know what? Tom Brady, he's 2-0. He's had less time to throw. Josh Allen looks like the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. He's had less time to throw. Aaron Rodgers, 2.57 seconds to throw. There's other quarterbacks doing that, and in a Josh McDaniels offense that a lot of times is predicated on getting the ball out, I think because that offense is predicated to get the ball out quickly, because Derek is not afraid to check it down here and there, those numbers are a little bit skewed. And then when you look at some of these offensive line pass blocking grades for the Raiders, Andre James did not play in week 2, but then you got Lester Cotton, Colton Miller, Dylan Parham. This is season-long offensive line pass blocking grades only. When you look at the overall grade at 64.2, I don't really think that's that bad, right? But okay, Mitch, the offensive line isn't the only position out there blocking. You're right. There's other positions out there blocking as well. And according to PFF, the Raiders right now have a 61.6 overall pass blocking rate. That's literally every player that goes out there for the Raiders and has to pass block. That's 15th in the NFL. So can we please stop saying, oh, Derek can't play behind this offensive line. Derek can't play because of the pass blocking. You got a league average offensive line. I think a lot of people would take league average if I would have told you that at the beginning of the season, that this offensive line would be average with the skill position players that we have. Now, if you're looking for more in-depth analysis, if you're looking for free Raiders content, hit that subscribe button. I see a lot of people out there talking on social media, and I'm going to make content around the top trending topics. I'm going to defend this team. I love this team. I'm always going to rep this team. But that doesn't mean that I can't get passionate, because I'm a passionate person, and people who have passion means they care. If you care, hit that sub button. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here with Stephen A. Smith quotes. But you are in the AFC West. If you're Derek Carr, you're just trying to manage and get along and make sure I don't make mistakes. Let me be relatively pedestrian. Let me complete 61% of my passes. Let me throw as many interceptions as touchdown passes. Guess what, y'all? Ain't going nowhere besides where you are. Last damn place. You going to handle your business or not? This is about recognizing the division you're in, the conference you're in. You got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson. You got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, who just put on a damn show. How many more quarterbacks are we going to look at that are going to pass Derek Carr? You in Vegas, baby. Handle it. Handle it. So everything that I see there from Stephen A., and this is something that I've brought up to you guys in the past, I think Derek is a good quarterback. I do. He is a good quarterback. He's not top 10. He's played like a top 10 quarterback at times. That's fine. Honestly, Derek Carr reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins. There's some games I watch Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr player, like that guy's a top 10 quarterback. And then when the lights go on, it gets dark out for Kirk. Then you see he turn into a choke artist. Just like in that second half for the Raiders. Yeah, a lot of the blame you can put on Josh McDaniels for the play calling that he had. But I've also seen Derek shit bricks at times. Elite quarterbacks always step up and they get the job done. Now, some people will say Derek Carr isn't the problem. I don't disagree with that. But my question to you is he the solution? Is he the solution? Your job as an NFL team every single year is to put a product out on the field that you believe has a chance to not only win games, to win a Super Bowl. This team had Super Bowl aspirations. And if Derek Carr is your quarterback, and we've seen him struggle the way we have already this season with the weapons that he has, can you honestly sit up here and look at me that he's at the same level as a Mahomes, as a Justin Herbert, as a Josh Allen, as a Lamar Jackson, hell, a Russell Wilson, whoever, Joe Burrow? Like, there are so many elite quarterbacks in the AFC. And if you can sit up here and say, yes, Derek is on the same level as all of those guys, I will say you're crazy. Moving on from Derek Carr is not an easy thing to do, because I respect DC. He's done a lot of great things for this organization, and he does always say the right things. But we have to be able to face the fact, if they miss the playoffs this season, it's probably time to move on from him, right? So give me a Y for yes and for no. Let me know what you're thinking. And moving on from Carr is scary, because what happens if you don't get a quarterback that's better than him? You're right. You might not get a quarterback that's better than him in the draft. But I've also seen a lot of teams find that QB. And if DC's not elite enough to take you to where you need to go, then sometimes you got to roll the dice. Like Stephen A. said, you're in Vegas, baby. You got to roll the dice, because if you do find that diamond in the rough, you do find that young quarterback that sets you apart from every other team, that makes this team different. That makes this team special, which is why I'm going to say yes. If the Raiders do not make the playoffs, you move on from Derek Carr. This offseason, I said that the Derek Carr contract is one of the greatest ones I've ever seen in the NFL. Why? Because of the out clauses. Because he doesn't have any more guarantees on the contract after this year. Did he sign that 3-year extension worth $121 million? Yes, he did. None of it's guaranteed, though. In 2023, if you can't win with Derek Carr at $19 million, Why do I think that they can win with that 34? 43. If you cut Derek Carr, you have 3 days to do it after the Super Bowl. 3 days to do it. Does it suck cutting Derek? Yes. Is cutting a quarterback of Carr's caliber smart? Probably not. It's probably not smart. But if I can save $110 million and then give my head coach, who I just hired, Josh McDaniels, because let's face it, they're not moving on from Josh. Josh is going to be with the Raiders for 3 years. I can almost guarantee you that. He's going to be with the Raiders for 3 years. If I'm McDaniels and I want to save my ass and my job, I'm going to say, hey, Give me a quarterback that I want. Get me my quarterback. Now, there is an option out there that you could draft a QB. You could send him behind DC. All that's fine and all. But are you going to pay that quarterback then all that extra money? I don't know. All I see is this. I can save $110 million, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, cutting off Big Cat's pinky finger. That's going to be my goal. My goal is to cut off Big Cat's pinky finger. And some of you guys are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I was negative Nancy that entire opening segment around Stephen A. Derek Carr. It's time to flip the script here a little bit. Now, I am trying to impress a brand new sponsor. Some of you guys have seen Vincero Collective on some of our shows here. I posted this picture on Instagram. If you guys could, I'm going to be giving some shout-outs here in a little bit on the live show. Go to this Instagram picture, and I want you to @Vincero Collective. I want you to comment and at them, and if you do that, I am going to give you guys a shout-out here on the show. I always tell y'all, the way that we can turn lights on, get you guys more content, is showing our sponsors some love. So I would greatly appreciate it if you went to my last Instagram picture. It looks like this, and then @Vincero Collective. It would help me out a lot. Let's talk about the next story here on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. Big Cat, okay? He is a part of my take host for Barstool Sports, and every single year he lists what is known as a pinky team. Well, he said the Raiders are his pinky team. So for those that don't know, it means if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, he has to cut off the tip of his pinky finger. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a wild thing to go out there and say, but you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. If the Raiders win the Super Bowl, I want to be the one that cuts it off. I don't know how you guys can make it happen. I don't know if you guys can @Big Cat, send them this clip right here. But if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, I want to cut off that finger. But Mitch, a few minutes ago, you're just ripping Derek Carr. Mitch, a few minutes ago, you're just ripping Josh McDaniels. You're right. It's my job to. It's also my job, though, to always rep the silver and black. And I'm going to believe. You have to still believe. You're 0-2. It sucks. No doubt about it. But here's the thing, man. There's been 4 teams in NFL history since the merger. Jackie Moon. 4 teams that have made the Super Bowl, okay? And 3 out of those 4 teams, they won it. You know why I think they did? Because they were playing great football when it mattered the most. So the 3 teams that started 0-2 and ended up winning the Super Bowl, the 93 Cowboys, 2001 New England Patriots, most recently the 2007 New York Giants. If I'm Josh McDaniels, okay, this is me being McDaniels. I walk into that locker room Tuesday, Wednesday, hell, even right after that game, and I say this. I was on that 2001 Patriots team. Sure, I was an assistant. But that team won the Super Bowl. The message is simple. You never give up. You should never give up. It's also your job. So go out there, play. We can still get this thing done. So Big Cat, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, I want to be the one who cuts off your finger. Think that's a fair deal. That's what I'm going to throw out there. If the Raiders win the Super Bowl, I want to be the one that cuts off Big Cat's finger. If we can make that happen, let's make it happen. Now, I know this is the Raiders Report, but Jeremy Jugs and I, we've been going live on Thursdays for Thursday Night Football. It's going to be Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, both teams in the AFC, both teams potentially battling for a final wild card spot, which is why I want you guys to tune in. So join Jugs and I. We're going to be starting the show at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We've been doing Raiders Rumors, a segment, a mailbag, having a lot of fun before those games get kicked off. So please join the party, hit the subscribe button, and turn on those notifications.